What up, guys? So today's question comes from Chris, and I'm going to answer this one in two parts. One, to help out Chris, the person that's asking the question, a newbie to Jiu-Jitsu. And then I'm also going to answer this, or at least throw my 2 cents into it, my bearded opinion into it, for any of you guys that are watching that run gyms, or if you work at a gym and you deal with people like on the front lines of our gym when they come in to try classes. So here is the story, and then we'll jump into it. So Chris was active duty military up until about 2018. He did some combative stuff there, had kind of gotten that itch of jiu-jitsu. A lot of military guys get this, right? They do jiu-jitsu, they get exposed to it, like it, and then when they get out of the military, they're like, maybe I should get into that stuff, right? So they come into the gym. So Chris, has been watching videos. He's been doing all this stuff, and he went to a gym. They had a 7-day free trial, during which he was allowed to just be in no-gi gear, right? Just shorts, t-shirt, the normal stuff. Well, the free trial ended, and eventually he's got to get a gi, right? Which is fine because he signs up to train at this gym. He likes the people. He's like, sign me up. And when they sign him up, they're like, oh, hey, you get a gi with your membership, so let's go put your gi on. So they go down into the office or whatever, they try these gis on. Now, he tells me that his build is something, his numbers right here. He says, I'm 5'9", 270 pounds, and in his words, he says, think fat power lifter build. So he's a strong guy, muscular guy, and he's got that layer of fluff on top of him. And he's a big guy, 5'9", 270. That's a big fella. So he says that they try on one of the gis. Doesn't fit. They try on another size. That one doesn't really fit either. And then they finally try on one, like the last size that this gym apparently has. And he said that like the top fits, kind of, but the pants are like he can barely move. And when he has the gi on, he feels like it looks like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Not a good look, doesn't feel good. It's like, okay. So he asked the guy, he's like, hey, can I get a bigger size? And the guy's like, man, this is the biggest we got. Sorry. And so he was stuck to wear that gi for his next class. Now, Chris feels embarrassed. Again, he's already dealing with the fact that he let himself go a little bit and kind of gained some weight and things like that. Now he's coming to this place to deal with this. And then, when he's getting his first suit of armor that he's going to go take into battle, take into the training sessions, right? He's just told, deal with it, bro. Like, that's the best we got. So before I get to the Chris part, for any of you guys that run gyms, for any of you guys that are working with people on their first sessions and stuff, the gi is so important, right? Yes, it's a piece of cloth. Same thing for rash guards. Super important, right? Because we don't have a lot of equipment in jiu-jitsu, but that is the integral parts, right? We have this gi, this rash guard, whatever it is. And when you go to a gym and when you go to training, right, part of the fun is putting on your uniform for the first time and going in and being able to wear it. There's something to that. I think this is why people love to go out and buy lots of clothes, right? Clothing can transform you as a person to a degree, right? We have these different costumes that we wear in different settings, right? And a lot of times once we get a good one, we want to go wear, right? You pick up a new suit that fits really good, you want to go wear it. I know when I got my first set of boots for riding, I wanted to put those suckers on and go ride the horse. So this guy's got this gi, right? And a lot of times when we get our first gi, I remember mine. As soon as I put that gi on for the first time, I remember sitting on it, just sitting down in my basement. I wasn't even trained in jiu-jitsu technically at the time. I bought it because I knew I was going to, and I remember getting it, and I was so excited because I knew what this gi meant. This meant I was going to be a jiu-jitsu practitioner at some point. And so he gets his first gi, and it sucks. He feels terrible about it. It's not going to work for him anyway if he goes and trains. And so again, make sure that if you are in the front of this thing, take that with care. Like there's been times in my gym where literally, I remember this one time, my wife is dealing with this young woman up front and she's got some big old hips, right? So they give her a gi. Gi top fits fine. She needs to go a size bigger in the pants, right? And, my wife's worried about hey, and she's asking me, she's like, is it cool if I do this? She's like, because she's like, can I take a bigger set of pants from this gi, because they come in packages, right? From this, I probably was like an A3, and pair it with this A2 top. We're going to have odds and ends now, and so we may not be able to sell those gis, but is that okay with you? And for me, I'm like, of course. She just wanted to confirm, of course, because she was down with it, but I was like, yes, go ahead. Let's change it, because I want that young woman, I want her to feel good in that first gi. Because if she doesn't feel good in that first gi, she's not going to want to stick around. So just keep that in mind, right? If you got someone, take care of them. Take care of them in that first little bit because they're already nervous, they're already embarrassed, they feel so vulnerable in that moment. And if you get them that first one and they don't feel like they fit or belong, there's a good chance they're not going to stick around. Now, to Chris's credit, he went online and he's looking for stuff. He's looking for gis that he can wear for himself, right? And he says they got all these different sizes and none of them seem to correlate with his particular body type. So he sends the Chewster the question, right? What can I do? Right? I feel embarrassed. I feel out of place. I feel fat. I feel just vulnerable, right? What do I do? So check it out, Chris. Here's what we do. Got some really simple solutions. Number one, go find a gi that you like. As far as the brand goes, there's only a couple brands that are made in different places. Most of the companies make the gis in the same places, same factories, except for a couple exceptions like Origin, of course, right? I think Future Kimonos, I think they make their stuff in a different factory. A lot of them are made in the same factories, right? So it doesn't really matter which one you pick unless you get into one of those. Pick the gi you want. Pick this design you want. The one that makes you like, man, that looks cool. I would feel good in that. Check with your gym. Some gyms have policies on gi colors. Sometimes you can only wear white as a white belt. Sometimes it's white and blue. Sometimes there's different things. Just keep that in mind. And then once you find a gi that you like, what you do is you send that company a message and says, hey, I need you're 5'9". I'm going to imagine you're probably an A3, maybe A3H or A4. By the way, if any of you guys have a similar body type, 5'9", 270, big power lifter with a little bit of chunk going on down here, that kind of build, comment down below and help out our buddy Chris here. So you do that. You send them a message and you say, hey, I need this top, this size bottom, right? And you go up a little bit if you need to. It's okay to do that, right? Basically tell them what sizes you need. Most companies will be more than happy to accommodate you. Not a big deal. Okay. Now, because of your size, you're probably going to end up where you're probably barrel chested from lifting and stuff, right? So you're probably going to end up with your gi length being a little bit longer. You typically want your gi. So if I'm wearing my jacket here, let's say this is the sleeve of my jacket. I'm going to scrunch up a little bit. Let's say this is my gi. We don't want our gi to fit like this, right? Because if our hands people can tie us up in that. So you typically want your gi, when you hold it out like this, to be just about 2 fingers, give or take, around 2 fingers, and you want there to be about 4 fingers width on the inside there. That's your typical length. And so what you can do is if you get the gi to fit your chest and to fit your stomach and everything else, and it's just kind of long on you, take it into a tailor shop and have it hemmed. Same thing for the pants. If you get it for your waist, it's probably not going to fit you for your length, for your pant length, right? So with the length, you can always get it hemmed up. Nothing wrong with it. I have a young woman in my gym that does that stuff, but any tailor place that does tailoring or alterations and stuff, they can typically do it. Not a big deal. The other option is that you can go to a place like Origin. Origin gis, they're made in America, and they can give you a gi top, and you can order the pants specific to your, they fit like jeans basically, and you can order a set of pants that will fit like jeans. Now, I will say that their jeans, they would be like jeans that fit a little bit more snug. So you typically, you want to just keep that in mind, and the gis are more expensive. And so if you plan on losing some weight, I would get that Origin gi after you lose a couple pounds and you're kind of settling, then get you an Origin gi. But for right now, you can do just what I said. Email a company, let them know the size issue, let them know what sizes you need. They'll take care of you. Again, if they don't, then they don't like money, right? That's a problem. And then from there, if it's a little bit long, take it to a tailor shop, get it hemmed, no big deal. A little bit of customization, a little bit of work, but not a big deal at all, bro. Okay, so again, don't let this derail you. This is small potatoes, right? We haven't even been on the mat training yet. You're just focusing on all this. Don't worry about it. And for the time being, you can go into the gym, just go in no gi. Right? And if the coach asks you, say, hey, why don't you have your gi on? Like, man, they couldn't give me a size big enough. They didn't take care of me, so I'm going to have to order one online, and it's going to take some alteration. No big deal. You can get that taken care of. And so that is my suggestion to you, brother. Hopefully that helps you with your start in jiu-jitsu. And again, gym owners or people, if you're the front desk people, take care of those people. If one of my employees did that to one of my people and just told them like tough shit, like I would chew them out over that. That's a bad deal, because again, we're in this to change people. We're in this to help them out. And again, if we leave them hanging at the very beginning, you can't expect those people to stick around. So little rant there, but that's my idea. Hopefully it helps you, Chris. Talk to you guys next time.